The snake's jaws were opening wider and wider. A tiny baby goat, barely old enough to even stand, was trapped inside them. Its legs trembled helplessly. Then suddenly, a terrifying scream tore through the air. A ripple seemed to race across the ground, as if the earth itself had taken a breath, like the earth itself was breathing. Then a head rose, thick and wide, eyes black and unblinking. The snake's scales shimmered grey in the harsh sunlight, dust clinging to its skin as it coiled tighter around something struggling beneath it. A terrified bleat ripped through the air. A baby goat, barely old enough to stand, was trapped, its tiny legs shaking as the snake's jaws stretched open, wider, wider, until its mouth began to close around the kid's head. People froze. "No, don't go near it," someone shouted. Another man laughed nervously. "It's nature, let it happen. That thing will kill you." Phones lifted, recording, watching, whispering. Nobody stepped forward. Nobody, except her. She didn't run. She didn't scream. She just walked, slow, controlled, eyes fixed only on the snake, as if she had done this before. Her name wasn't important to the crowd. They only saw a quiet woman in dusty boots and a faded jacket, moving toward death, like it was nothing more than a stubborn shadow. The goat tried to cry again, but the sound came out muffled, half swallowed already. The snake tightened, and the woman finally spoke. Not to the people, to the animal. "Easy," she whispered. "You don't want to waste that strength, not yet." The crowd murmured. "Is she crazy? Someone stop her. She's going to get herself killed." But she kept walking, calculating, scanning the snake's position, the angle of its coils, the rhythm of its breathing. She noticed something the others didn't. The snake wasn't attacking out of hunger alone. It was panicked. Its tail had gotten tangled in a discarded wire snare buried in the grass. Each time it tried to move, the wire tightened, biting into its flesh. It was trapped, furious, desperate. And now it had chosen the baby goat as its anchor. She knelt, close enough that she could smell the damp musk of the reptile, close enough to feel the rough heat radiating from its skin. Her heartbeat slowed, steady. Practice. Behind her, a man scoffed. "She thinks talking will fix it. Let the professionals come." But nobody had called anyone. They were standing there, waiting, filming, doing nothing. Again, the snake shifted, jaws working to swallow deeper. The woman's eyes sharpened. Her hand slid into her pocket, not for a weapon, but for a small folding knife and a length of thick cloth. She didn't show fear. She showed respect. "Listen to me," she murmured, voice barely a breath. "If you strike, I'm too close to run. So let's not do that." The snake paused, tongue flicking, tasting the air, tasting her. Then something changed. Her sleeve lifted just enough for the sunlight to hit the badge pin beneath. Wildlife Response Unit. The murmurs turned into stunned silence. "That's her," someone whispered. "The one they call Night Sparrow. She saved that bull last year. I heard she crawled into a collapsed pit to save a leopard cub." The crowd had seen the videos. They just never expected to see her here. She flicked the knife open. Her eyes moved, not to the head, but to the tangled wire wound tight around the snake's tail. That was the real killer. The snake would not release its prey while it believed it was trapped. She needed to free it without letting it strike, and without letting the goat suffocate. She motioned to a teenager standing nearby. "You, come here." He stepped forward, trembling. "Hold this cloth. If its mouth opens wider, you pull the kid gently, but not hard. We don't rip. We guide. Understand?" He nodded, terrified. but nodding. Good. You're braver than the men yelling back there. The men went quiet. She slid along the snake's body, slow, smooth, feeling each muscle contract and release. Every movement she made was deliberate, controlled, respectful. The goat's breathing slowed. Time was running out. Her knife touched the wire. The snake reacted instantly. Its body whipped, the ground crackling beneath its force. Gasps exploded through the crowd. She didn't flinch. She pressed one hand gently along its midsection, grounding it, giving pressure, not pain, the way she'd learned years ago in the field, when an older rescuer once told her, "Snakes don't hate you, they survive you." One cut, then another. The wire snapped. The snake jerked, shocked, testing its freedom. The moment its tail loosened, its jaws hesitated around the goat. "Now," she whispered. The boy pulled careful, smooth, exactly as she told him. The goat slid free, collapsing onto the ground, gasping, trembling. A shudder ran through the snake's massive body. For one breath, everything stopped. Then, instead of striking, the snake uncoiled, dragging its body back through the grass, disappearing with a long, haunting rustle into the shadow of the brush. Gone. The crowd exhaled as if they'd all been holding the same breath. The boy knelt, lifting the goat, tears in his eyes. A woman rushed forward. "My baby's goat! You saved him! I thought... The quiet rescuer checked the kid's airway, rubbed its chest gently, then smiled faintly as it bleated again. Weak, but alive. "It'll be sore," she said softly, "but it'll live." Silence lingered. Then, embarrassment. One man cleared his throat. I didn't realize the snake was trapped." Another shifted uneasily. "I shouldn't have laughed. I'm sorry." She didn't lecture them. She simply stood, dust brushing from her hands, eyes tired, but kind. "This wasn't a monster," she said quietly. "It was suffering, and animals in pain don't think clearly." "None of us do." They listened, really listened. She turned to leave, the wind tugging gently at her jacket. "Wait, what do we call you?" someone asked. She paused, just long enough to offer a small, humble smile. "Doesn't matter," she replied. "Just call next time, before it becomes a crowd and a video." She walked away, boots fading into the grass, while behind her, people whispered, not about the snake anymore, but about the woman who had walked straight toward Denno and shown them that courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it simply refuses to look away, and the goat, still trembling, leaned against the boy's chest, alive because compassion arrived when everyone else stood still. Because one person believed every life, even the misunderstood, deserves a chance. If you want, I can now.